Presently, the hostility between police and youth is pretty much at an all-time high.
We're finding things getting worse because young people now have perceptions about police officers already in place before they even have an interaction with a police officer.
A young person, say in Tippecanoe County, Indiana, who has never had a bad experience for a police officer will throw his hands up in the air and say, "Don't shoot." Not because of anything other than he's seen that or she's seen it on social media.
You know, we're asked as law enforcement officers certainly to engage with young people, and yet not many of us are really aware of the science behind teen brain development.
When I was being trained, can't remember talking about kids other than how to fill out the paperwork when you arrest somebody.
So when I started, I had zero training on how to be a school police officer in the city of Boston. And we got some intimate training around handcuffing and radio, but nothing about interacting with kids.
So here's the whole thing, right? Kids are hard. Kids are difficult. Most of you can remember that time when the world just sucked and all you wanted to do was just go away and live your own life because, damn it, you know better how to do it. And kids are like that, right? They are. There are reasons for that.
While we as adults may have something happen in front of us that gets us excited or we kind of feel our blood pressure rise, the frontal lobe takes over and says, oh, wait a minute, it's not that bad.
Unfortunately, part of the brain that is the best kind of pro and con balancing that leads young people to have the kind of responses we'd like to see with law enforcement or other authority figures doesn't demonstrate complete maturity until about 25.
Because a lot of our cops are kids themselves. They're in the 20s. And these kids are like, what, 16, 17, they're kids too.
So you often see a kind of mirroring of the kids' fear and the officer's anxiety, and you go up and up and up.
If they can get a rise out of that officer, somebody's recording it, and it's posted on YouTube, you're a hero the next day in school because you got 50,000 likes on your video.
It's difficult because police officers don't like to be necessarily challenged or cussed at. But it's not necessarily a crime either.
De-escalation is key to public safety. It protects officers, it protects youth.
You've got young people who don't realize that pushing the buttons of an adult that has a taser, has a gun, perhaps has a baton, is different than pushing the buttons of your history teacher or maybe your youth group leader or even your parent.
There are traumas, there are adverse situations that young people are exposed to in their personal lives, things that drive them to behave or act out in ways that are antisocial.
If you don't understand that some kids are limited, whether it be speech, language, or physical or mental, then you won't know how to intervene to support the student as well as the students around if something happens.
It's really amazing how often we have police officers come up to us and say, I get it now.
It was an aha moment on both a professional and personal level. And many officers with whom we interact and conduct this training have that same aha moment.
When Strategies for Youth came along, you could see the officers really, oh, that explains it. If I talked with the kid a little bit longer and maybe calmed down a little bit, then the student would clearly understand what I was talking about.
They don't want to feel like they're being talked at, but being talked with, you know what I mean?
After our first year, we really decreased our misdemeanor arrests by 50%. Our disorderly conduct arrests are down. Marijuana less than an ounce arrests are down. Assaults are down. Every arrest category was down.
We went from over 700 and we're down to like close to 60 because of what Lisa made us go through. We had to look at ourselves.
For the cost of incarcerating one youth for 1 year, Strategies for Youth can train 400 officers.
You may be doing your job the right way, but this training is offered to help you understand and identify a better way to do your job.
I think that the thing that probably pleases me the most is that the officers go away with some sense of hope, realizing that there are the little things they can do to make a difference.
If we don't
understand our youth or how everything develops, then we're kind of missing the entire 8 ball on everything.
We're going to get older as police officers. We're going to go through different experiences, but the teenage group is still going to remain the teenage group.
Today, there are about 70 million Americans who have some kind of criminal history. It could be from minor offenses, etc. So we want to help families avoid being arrested, avoid the justice system, and thereby have a better chance of being successful in life.